She stood alone at the edge of the dusty road, the wind pulling at her dress, eyes locked on the horizon like she was waiting for something or running from it. The town was quiet, but not peaceful. It was the kind of quiet that meant danger was close. Every man in that place knew better than to come near her. Every man except him, the cowboy. He had been watching from across the street, leaning against the wooden post outside the saloon, hat low over his eyes, jaw tight like he was fighting a war inside his own head. When she finally moved, it was toward the well, slow steps, careful, like she didn't trust the ground beneath her feet. That's when it happened. A group of men stepped out from the alley, 3 of them, smirking, blocking her path. "Look what we got here," one of them said. She froze. Her breath caught. Her fingers tightened around the small cloth bag she carried. "Lost, sweetheart?" Another mocked, stepping closer. She tried to step back, but there was nowhere to go. The cowboy pushed off the post. Slow, calm, deadly calm. He didn't speak at first, just walked. One step, then another, boots hitting the ground like a warning no one wanted to hear. The men noticed him too late. "You got a problem, stranger?" the tallest one said, turning halfway. The cowboy stopped behind them. "No," he said quietly. Then he added, "But she's got one." The air changed. Heavy, sharp. The men laughed nervously, but it didn't reach their eyes anymore. "She with you?" one asked. The cowboy didn't look away from her. "She is now." Her eyes snapped to him. Confusion, shock, something deeper she didn't want to name. One of the men scoffed. "We don't take orders from." The cowboy moved, fast. 1 second he was still. The next, the tallest man was on the ground. Silence shattered. A fist, a stumble, dust rising. The second man reached for his knife, but the cowboy was already there. Too close, too quick, too certain. When it was over, the street went still again. Only breathing, only dust, only him standing between her and everything else. He turned slowly, looked at her, and for the first time, his voice softened. "You all right?" She didn't answer right away, because no one had ever stood in front of her like that before, like she mattered, like she was his. If this love story touched your heart, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications for more emotional romance stories every week. And tell me in the comments, would you choose the safe life or the person who makes you feel alive? She still didn't move. The dust was settling around them, but her mind wasn't. Her eyes stayed locked on him like she was trying to understand what just happened or why he did it. The cowboy stood there, shoulders tense, hands still slightly clenched like the fight hadn't fully left him yet. "You all right?" he asked again, quieter this time. She finally swallowed. I didn't ask you to do that." The wind moved between them, pulling at his coat. He glanced at the men on the ground, then back at her. "You didn't have to." That answer hit her harder than she expected. She looked away for a second, trying to steady her breath. "I can handle myself," she said, but her voice shook just enough to betray her. He noticed. Of course he did. He stepped closer, slow again, not threatening, controlled, careful. "Not today, you couldn't." That made her look up sharply. Something flashed in her eyes, anger, maybe pride. "Who are you to decide that?" He stopped a few feet away, close enough now that she could see the faint scar along his jaw, the tiredness in his eyes that didn't match his strength. "No one," he said. Then, just the man who showed up first. Silence again, different this time. Less dangerous, more complicated. She hugged her bag tighter. "I didn't need saving." He nodded once, like he'd heard that before. Most people say that right after they do. That almost made her react, but she held it in. Almost. A horse snorted somewhere in the distance. Life in the town kept moving like nothing happened, but something had changed for her. She could feel it. He finally took a step back, giving her space. "You should leave this street," he said. "And if I don't?" she challenged. His eyes held hers for a long moment. Then, quietly, "Then I stay." That line hung in the air longer than anything else. She blinked. Once. Twice. "Why would you do that?" she asked, softer now. He didn't answer right away, because even he didn't like the truth forming in his chest. Finally, he said, "Because trouble follows you, and I don't like the idea of you facing alone." Her grip loosened slightly, just slightly, and for the first time, she realized it wasn't just protection. It was something deeper, something he hadn't named yet. She took a small step back, as if distance could untangle what his words had already started inside her. "I don't need someone watching over me," she said, but it came out quieter than before. The cowboy didn't move closer this time. He just watched her, like he was trying to understand a storm, not control it. "I'm not watching over you," he said. "I'm just making sure you don't get buried in something you didn't start." Her eyes narrowed slightly. "That's not your responsibility." A faint, almost humorless exhale left him. Never said it was. That made her pause. For the first time, he sounded honest in a way that didn't feel rehearsed or defensive, just certain. The men from earlier groaned behind them, shifting on the ground. The reality of what had happened started creeping back in. She glanced over, tension returning to her face. "What happens now?" she asked. The cowboy followed her gaze. "Now they think twice before touching you again. And if they don't," she pressed. He looked back at her. "Then they learn slower the second time." Something about the way he said it made her uneasy, not because he was cruel, but because he was steady, like consequences meant nothing to him anymore. She studied him more carefully now. "You always talk like that?" she asked. "Like what?" "Like nothing scares you." That finally got a shift in his expression. Not fear. Something older. Something heavier. "I didn't say I wasn't scared," he said quietly. That caught her off guard. A pause stretched between them again, but different now. Less tension. More curiosity. She took another breath. "Why did you step in?" she asked again, softer this time. He looked away for a second toward the empty road, like the answer wasn't easy to face. "Because I've seen what happens when no one does." Her chest tightened slightly. That didn't answer my question. A faint, almost smile touched his mouth. "Gone quickly." "It did. You just didn't like it." Silence. This time, she didn't argue. She just watched him, really watched him, the way he stood between her and the world without hesitation, like it wasn't the first time, like it might not be the last. Finally, she said, almost reluctantly, "You're gonna get yourself hurt doing that." He met her eyes again. Maybe. A beat, then lower, but not today. She didn't know why she was still standing there. The street was clear now. The danger had passed. The town was slowly pretending nothing happened, but her feet wouldn't move, and neither would he. The cowboy stayed where he was, a few steps away, like he was waiting for her to decide something that had nothing to do with him and everything to do with her. She finally broke the silence. "You didn't even ask my name." That made him look at her properly again, like he'd been avoiding that detail on purpose. "No," he said. Didn't seem important in that moment. Her brows tightened slightly. And now, that question hung between them. He shifted his weight, slow, still not sure it is. That should have offended her. But instead, it only made her more curious. "You always this strange?" she asked. A faint breath left him, almost like a quiet laugh that never fully formed. "Only when I'm staying too long in one place." That line lingered. Something about it sounded like a warning, not for her, but for him. She finally took a step forward, then another, testing the space between them. "You should have just walked away," she said. "And let them what?" He cut in, still calm. "Corner you in the middle of the street?" She hesitated. "I would have handled it." He tilted his head slightly. Sure, that one word carried just enough doubt to irritate her. She stopped walking. "You don't know me." A beat. Then he answered, quieter, "Exactly." That silenced her, because he wasn't claiming to know her. He was just seeing what was in front of him, and it made her feel exposed in a way she didn't like. She looked down for a second, then back up. "People don't just step in like that," she said. His eyes stayed on hers. "Good people don't," he corrected softly. That made something tighten in her chest again. Before she could respond, one of the men groaned louder behind them. Reality again. Danger not fully gone. She turned her head slightly. "They'll come back," she said. It wasn't a question. The cowboy followed her gaze. "Maybe." She looked back at him quickly. "And you'll be there again?" "Longer this time." Then he said, "I don't usually repeat myself." Her heart skipped a strange beat at that. "Then why me?" she asked. That question changed everything. Even the air felt different after she said it. He didn't answer right away. Just looked at her like he was deciding how much truth to give away. Finally, because you didn't deserve what was about to happen. Simple, direct, no decoration. And somehow, that made it worse. She didn't know what to say to that. For the first time, she looked away first. And he didn't stop her.